Right, okay, guys, John here, Mr. Forex Fire. It's that time of week where we do the reset of our zones. The next video after this will be me going over where is the liquidity, okay? So before we head into resetting the zones and how I reset these, I'm just going to go ahead into our fire zones area. Okay, this is what was triggered through last week, and we're just going to take a look at some of the results of what happened on that through last week. We'll just add these up. Okay, so the 1st of December, we can see down here on the 1st of December, that's where we started this week. Okay, so we're just going to add these totals up. We've got a 1.1. That was on the U-Chef. The U-Chef also at 2.36. Okay, we also had the USD Chef. We also had the 3.48. Okay. We then went into odd card. We got a 1.14 and we got a 1.97. We also had the USD JPY 2.37. We had a 1.5. We also had TP2 of USD JPY plus a 3.53 plus a 2.26, 2.26, and that was the total. That was a total of 19.71% of what I called through last week. Again, I'm just going to update this and then we'll go into resetting the zones in a moment. That was on the zone alerts, 19.71 on all of these that were called through last week, which is good going, to be fair. So what we're going to do, we're just going to put this into here. And then we'll go into reset the zones. Okay, so again, I'm just going to get this, copy this image, and then we'll just put this into here. Right, so I'll run through the first couple of these, okay, and then what we will do is, as I reset the zones, I'll then give you the principle of what I do. But as I reset 2 or 3, I'll pause the video and I'll come back and I'll do the last few, okay? So basically we need to go up to the 4 hour, okay? And as we go up the 4 hour, I'm going to start with that odd card. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to reset everything and I'm going to start everything afresh. Okay, as I started afresh, I'm looking to see where the liquidity is. Okay, so just to give you a preference, I'm going to scoot that across here. I can see we had a sweep up here. So I'm basically, where we've come down, had a change of direction. Okay, I'm simply just going to use that top end as our first area. Okay, and I'm going to try and contain the pricing on these a little bit better. So what we're going to do, we're going to see, right, that is our bear zone. Okay, now the liquidity underneath, we're heading into this higher low. Okay, and then we've got this bit underneath as well. But I would be more inclined, okay, as we've got a higher low, we've got a little bit of FVG here. I'm going to use this spindly wick with this here at the minute. So again, I'm just going to mark that out from that to that. And I'm going to class that as my bull zone, okay? Pretty standard, straightforward stuff. So that's the bull zone, okay? So the next step from here is to just make an annotation. Okay, I need to go back into the Discord, and for the fire zones, we just need to go into the fire zones area, and I need to reset the odd card. So we'll just look for the odd card. Let's just take a look. So we'll get the notation of this, okay, and we're just going to drop it into here. Now you'll notice bull zone, bear zone. So bull zone, we're going to go from the bottom. We're just going to copy that price and give it a new area. Okay, and then we do the same with the top end. Copy the price. We do that, and then we go to the bear zone. Copy its price. And again, you guys don't have to do this. This is just what I do for my Discord, but you can set this up on your own system for you personally. Okay, so we've got everything set there. I can then come into here and then I can say, all right, that is my first level. I'm going to update that. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is just going to add this in and then I'm going to delete this one. Okay, and then that means I've then got my first area done. So I'm just going to highlight these. So again, just bear with me, guys, because I've got someone coming to the door. So just bear with me. Right, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, we've got this set up now. So then what I need to do is come into the area and go to my alerts, okay? If I go to the log, or at least the alerts, come into here, go to inactive only, and then delete all inactive. Okay, I can then come back to the main area, go to alerts, and then go to all. And then I need to look for a cell. So again, the reason why I do this is just because it's just to get the message, the JSON message, okay? And then I need to look one for the buy. Okay, so we just get this. And it doesn't matter because it's NZD, USD, JPY. I'm just needing to get this bit that I can edit that. So what I'm doing is I'm coming into so far of the zone and I'm starting with the bull zone. So I'm just going to add an alert. Okay, I'm going to go to the message. This is what we call a JSON message. And I just copy that in there and I change this to odd card. Okay, yes, odd card. Odd card. As simple as that. And then I'm just going to get the first part of that. And when this triggers, it sends a message over to my Discord. Okay, so we're just going to do that. That is that. And then I'm going to do the same into here, add an alert. Come into message. Just going to copy that. And again, odd card, we know it's a possible sell. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add it into that. And it's as simple as that. Okay. What I'm going to do now is get rid of this and drop it back up to the top. And then I just need to do that with each of these. So I'm going to run through the first three and then I'll pause the video. So we'll rinse and repeat the process. We're coming into the odd Swiss franc. Again, from there, what we're doing is we just simply delete all the drawings and get rid of that alert there. Okay. And then what we are doing, we are basically looking for the liquidity. Okay, so I can see as we drop this onto here, this is where we're heading to. So I'm going to be looking for a possible point up here. So I'm going to use this bit here. Okay, again, we need a bit of breathing space between. So I'm just going to put this up here. Yes, we've tapped into it a bit here, but I do think we'll come back up to this area. We'll get rid of this. And it just allows a bit of breathing between the spaces, okay? So this is where I think we will head to. Okay, and again, it's a case of just simply making sure we're on that 4 hour, which we are, and then highlight this and just say that's my bear zone. Okay, that's a 4 hour bear zone. And with regards to the bull zone, I'm going to be looking at something below. We can see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. I'm sort of liking this area down here, and it's quite a distance away to be fair, but again, I think we're going to end up, because we're bullish, I think we're going to tap into this first. So I'm just going to pick this area here. And I'm just going to say that will be my bull zone. Okay. And then again, it's just a case of taking the image, coming back over into here. And I know I need to find the old Swiss franc. Okay. So again, just taking our time. The odd Swiss franc, get the what we call the notation. Okay. So we've got that notation, we put it into here, and then I'm just going to go bull zone, copy the price. And with me doing this each week, I do it on a weekend. So I know when I go into a fresh week, I've got my zones of interest. It stops me over trading. It stops me sort of overthinking a setup. It just means when I come to these areas, I know that this is where I should be invested in to either look for a buy or looking for a sell. Okay. So when these trigger, I already know whether it's a buy or a sell I'm looking for, because this is the basic supply and demand area. Okay. So again, come into the plus sign, we'll come into here. And then I'm just going to add the odd Swiss franc. We add that into there. We'll delete the old one. Simple as that. We come down, and I'll just add my emojis in here for the guys that are going through the Discord. And then again, simple process. We're coming into the buy area, and we're just going to click so far into here, add the alert, come into the message. And I'll just get that code. It's a code. It's a snippet of code, which is content in with inverted brackets. And it's just basically saying when that line gets triggered, it sends this message. And in this instance, it's odd Swiss franc, and it's a potential buy. So like I say, when we come back into the Discord and we look at the results, the alerts, we get a message like this comes up. Okay. So again, that's the potential buy. I'm just going to go to create, and then I'm going to do the same with this, add an alert. Get the sell point. Again, just open that. Odd Swiss franc. And then I'm just going to do that. Okay. And that's a sell. Okay. So now I know I've got that one done. I can put this one back to the top, and then I can rinse and repeat odd USD. So again, just reset everything, including the alert. Okay. So basically what I'm looking at in here, I'm just going to put the line on where the top liquidity area is. And I can see just above that, there's this area here. So obviously I'm going to go from the top of this for my supply area. So this will be my supply. I'm looking for the tap into this. Okay. I'm going to get rid of that there. That's just a spacer for me. So I'm just going to say, all right, that will be the bear zone. Okay. And then I'm just going to look underneath and just see what we see underneath. So we've got a higher low, we've got a higher low, we've got a higher low down here, and then we've got a higher low here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this basically on this area on here. Okay, because we had 3 candles, 3 4-hour candles where it was just bullish. Okay, so I'm just going to put this down here as my bull zone. Okay, so there was a lot of buying pressure here. So I'm just going to say, all right, that there will be my bull zone. Okay. And I'm just going to do that. I'm going to take an annotation of that screen. This is the odd USD. We'll just look for that. Odd USD. And again, I'm just going to get the notation of that. I'm going to add it in here. And then it's a simple process of just copy the price of the lower end of the bull zone. We want the higher end of the bull zone. And then I want the bear zone. and then I want the top end of the bear zone. Okay, so now I've got that. I can then simply say, all right, that annotation I got before, audio SD, copy it into here, do that, and then I can get rid of this older one. See how simple this is? Rinse and repeat. And it just sets you up for the new trading week. Okay, so that has been that. Now it's time for the alert system. So we're coming into here. We're going to see, all right, when we get into here, an alert, we want that, and we want the message to come in that this is a possible buy, and it is on the odd USD. Possible buy, create, and then we're doing the same in here. Add the alert, copy this. We're looking for the sell, odd USD. And that's my first three. I've shown you what I do on my first three, okay? So we just go to create. We get rid of that and do the odd USD up here. So that's the first three done. I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 10 left to do. What I'll do is I'll pause the video here. When I'm on my last three, I'll show you again another three, and then I'll show you what we do when we double check that we've got the two what I call tram lines. Okay, so I'll pause the video and I'll be back in a second. Right, okay, guys. So I'm on to the final three now. So again, what we're going to do is we reset the whole thing, and any alert that was left. Okay, we'll look at where the swing points are, and I'm more or less happy with this one up here. Yes, it's tapped into it once before, but when I go to set my alert, I'll do where it's going to, instead of it being down here, I'll do where it's going to sweep this. Okay, so that there will then become my bear zone. Okay, and excuse me, we'll look below this low here, and I'm happy with this bit here. Okay, so again, I'll go with this bit right here, and I'm happy with that there. And like I said, we'll call that the bull zone, and we've just framed our supply and demand area up. We're going to look for the USD Swiss franc. Okay, so when we look for that USD Swiss franc, we're just going to go back to the very top, look for the USD Swiss franc. There it is there. We'll copy its last known origin, which will be the bull and bear zone. We'll copy this into here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back onto here, and I'm going to go at the bottom of the zone, copy its price, and do an update to that. I'm then going to go and do a copy of the top of the bull zone. We'll do it there. I'm then going to do the same with the supply area, which is copy the price of the bottom. And we do the same with the top end, okay? And that's just basically framing out. We're just framing out where we are, okay? And then I can add, if I come into here and do add USD Swiss franc, that is the new framed up area. I'll come into this and I can delete that one now, okay? We can come back down into this and I can just add my emojis just to see that these have been done. And then all that is left to do is basically add the alert system. Okay, so again, we're going to come into here, add the alert, and we're just going to get the JSON message. We'll just add that into there, and we know that this is the USD Swiss franc. Okay, so that's halfway done on this one now. Now we're just going to do the same, and again, we're going to come above the liquidity area, so I'm going to go just above here for the sweep. Okay, so that sets that line there, and this is where I would expect a possible reversal sell. Okay, let's trigger this into here. And this is, like I say, the USD Swiss franc. Okay, and then obviously when that triggers, I needed to send that first part of the message as the alert name into the Discord. And then that is that saved. We've got two more left. So this is the USD Swiss franc. We're now going to the USD card again. Simple process. Remove all the drones. Get rid of the other alerts. Okay, it went very, very bearish, the USD. So I'm just going to go and put this on the bottom of the liquidity line. And I'm going to look underneath this line. So I'm sort of going to be looking at that entity there. Okay. So I'm going to see we might get a trigger from this point. Okay. So I'm just going to get rid of that. Bring this back into play around about there. And we're just going to see that's my point of interest for the bull zone. And we're going to look above here. We're going to do it from, I would say, around about this area here, to be fair. I'm going to be looking for that to be an area of interest for a potential bear zone. Okay, I'll get an annotation of that. Now you'll notice this one's disappeared for the sell, so I need to go back into here. And I need to get that there and put this up here just so I can copy the message. Okay, so that is that there. I need to now go in here, copy the price. But first of all, instead of copying the price, sorry, we need the USD card. Again, we'll go at the very top. We'll look for this USD card. USD card. Keep scrolling down till we come to it. There's the USD card there. So again, copy the notation. Okay. We do this, and then we're going to come into the upload of the USD card. Okay. We add that. Now we need to get the bottom of the bull zone. We add it to this, and we get the top of the bull zone. Okay. We add it to this, and then we're going to get the bear zone. And then I'm going to get the top of that bear zone. And then that is that completed for that one. Okay. I can then say, right, we'll drop that into there. This USD card will delete that old annotation. We'll come back down. And what we'll do is we'll add our emojis to say we're completed. We then need to come back in and set our alerts. So we'll just add an alert. We need to go and get the message, the JSON code snippet. And we're just going to put this into here. And we're just going to say, right, this is our USD card. We know when we get into that area, if it triggers, the message has to say it's USD possible buy. We create that. And then again, I just do the same on the sell side. Get the content, JSON snippet message. Okay, we'll just do that. And then we add in here USD card. So when it triggers, it sends a message that it is the USD card. We'll copy that. We put that into there. Okay, so what that means is we're down to our final one now. So the USD JPY, and when I've done this, we'll go over the tram lines bit, and I'll explain what the tram lines mean. Okay, so again, full blank canvas. We're going to look, see where we are liquidity wise. This is a low, this is a high. Okay, I think I'll prefer that one there, to be fair, just so there's a bit of breathing space, to be honest. So we're going to go from here down to here. We'll scroll along to here. Okay, and then, like I say, I'm going to say that is my potential area of interest for where I want to start looking for buys. And for the sells, I'm just going to pick the top end of the swing. Okay. And I'm going to say, right, I'm going to be interested in sells when I get to that area. Okay. I'm just going to do the annotation. I'm going to come in and look for the USD JPY. Okay. So we come up, look for USD JPY. USD JPY. It's going to be near the top by the look of this. There we are there. And then we're just going to basically copy the notation. So annotation is a drawn, the notation is the specifics, okay? So again, we're going to get this and we're going to go right. We'll do the image. We'll come in here and we'll see, right, we want that USD JPY image in there. And then it's a case of copy the price of that bull zone, okay? I then want to come in, copy the price of the top of the bull zone, and then I want to come in and copy the price of the bottom of the bear zone, okay? I then want to come in, copy the price of the top of that zone, okay? I can now say, right, that's completed. I can get rid of this, delete that message, that's the old one, come back down, and then I can start saying, right, this is completed. I can now put my emojis in there for the guys in the Discord to follow, okay? Now, you'll notice we've now got a full house, all 26 in a basket. Now, what I generally do from here, in fact, I need to do the alerts. So I need to get the sell and I need to get the buy. Okay, so that's the buy, that's the sell. I need to come in and get the JSON messages. So again, I'm going to come just around about here, add the alert. This will be my buy area. Okay, so again, we're just copying the message. We understand it's the USD JPY. Okay, and then I just need to do the same with the sell. I'm going to come just above this wick high. I want to see, right, if we come into this, add the alert. When it triggers, I need it to send that message or the JSON message code of the USD JPY, which will be the message header. And we are potentially looking for the sell, okay? So I'm getting rid of these now. Now, what we're looking for now, we're going to go through the whole of the basket and we want to see tram lines, okay? And those tram lines are basically 1, 2 on each setting. This will tell me that we have our alert system set up, and it means I've got my basket of 26 completely full. So the order card, we've got these, and in my next video I'll go over and do where is the liquidity, where I've framed up the supply and the demand. I'll talk about where the liquidity is and what I expect. So the odd Swiss franc, we've got double lines, the odd NZD, we have our double lines, the odd USD, double lines, excuse me. Right, so we've got the CAD JPY to figure out. Again, I just need to get rid of this, get rid of that. I'm just going to put the tippy top of that on here. Okay, I'm just going to look to the left. And I'm going to go this here, to be fair. I'm going to fill this out across here. Nearly there. I'm going to put this here. We'll get rid of this line here. And then we'll just say, right, that there is the new bear zone. Okay. It just means I need to come back into here and I need to look for a possible sell. So we're just going to copy the sell message from here. Okay. And when we do that, we need to go at the CAD JPY. CAD JPY. Let's take a look, go at the top. CAD JPY. Just bear with me, guys. Just bear with me. Right, so I'm just going to copy the whole of this. Okay, just to reset the whole lot. Go into here. I'm then going to go into copy the price. If I find one is not got the tram lines, I will do a full reset because I've obviously got to change one of the zones, but I may as well do the full area. Okay, so again, we come into here. We do this. And then we come to the top, copy the price. We do this, and then we just see if we copied that CAD JPY. No, we didn't. So we'll come in, we'll get the annotation, come back into here, and then we'll select the CAD JPY, open that, we'll close the window, and then we will drop that in here, get rid of this, and then I can get rid of that there. We can come down, okay, just do the annotations. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come into here and I'm going to say, right, if we get an alert in here, I've got a feeling there might be one or two like this again on the back end. So we might be resetting a couple more to be fair. So we're just going to do this. I'm just going to go into here. Right, so the JSON's incorrect. Okay, go back in. We'll copy that. We'll paste that. And then we'll create that. Right, so we've got that. Okay, so CAD JPY. We're then going to come to Chef JPY, double lines, Euro Odd, double lines, Euro CAD. We're missing a double line, so we'll have to do the Euro CAD reset. So what we'll do, just going to get rid of that. And we'll come into this area here. We'll do this as an area of interest. And then this will be our new bull zone. Okay, we'll get this here. This is the Euro card. I'm trying to put this light on. And again, we need to come back into here and look for Euro card. See where we are, Euro card. I'm just going to update this into here. Just do the annotation. And then again, I'm just going to copy the price of the bottom. Copy the price of the top. And I know I've already got the top end. Is it the top end I've already got done? I've already got the top end done. So then I can just come into here and just say, right, if I go into this bit here and I want the possible buy, okay, get the JSON message. I'm just going to do a possible buy when we get an alert in this bit here. Because we've got the top end done. And this is going to be the Euro card. Copy that. Put this in here, Euro card possible buy. We come into here and we'll just go into the Euro card on here. So we've updated that. We can get rid of this one. Like I say, there will be a few stragglers, to be fair. We come back down and then we can add the emojis on here. I think there might be two, maybe two or three others. We'll come back onto here. That's the Euro card, the Euro GBP, 2 lines. Euro NZD, we've got another one we need to sort of complete. So again, we're just going to extend the area. So we're just going to do this into this bit here. Okay, we'll extend this out. So I know that's the bull zone now. So I'm just going to go, that's a bull zone. Okay, we'll get the annotation. We need to look for the Euro NZD now. Euro NZD, Euro NZD. There we are. Get copy of that. We bring it into here. And what we need to update is simply just the bull zone. Okay, so we're just going to copy the price because we've got the top end done. Okay, see where we've got the tram line, we've got the top end done. So we're just going to update the bull zone on this one. And then open that. So we're going to put the Euro NZD into here. Okay, that means we can get rid of this one. Delete the message. Delete this one. Bring it down. It just means we can also do the emojis. Okay, and then I need to look for a buy. So that's a possible buy there. Just need to get the message. We'll come in here and we'll just say, right, when we get the alert into here, we want to copy this here. This is the Euro NZD. It's a possible buy situation. That's that complete. We then come back in and check the rest of the tram lines. We've got Euro USD. Okay, we've got 2 tram lines, CAD Swiss franc. We've got, this will probably trigger off at the beginning of the new week. So what we're doing, we're going to change this one altogether. And then we're going to look at that area, this area. We'll probably look at this area, to be fair. We'll look at that area there. We'll add this as a bear zone. And then obviously I want to go this area here as a possible bull zone. Yeah. So this as a possible bull zone, I want to get the annotation and then need to go into CAD Swiss franc. CAD Swiss franc, this one here. And we're just tying up some loose ends now. So again, because we're doing a fresh reset, we need to get all of the price done on this one. Copy the price. The bear zone. Copy the price. And then that one. Copy the price. Okay, we can come into the CAD Swiss franc as well. Add this into here. I can get rid of this, but now I need to do the buy and sell. Okay, so that means obviously coming into the alerts, this is the buy. And then I need the possible sell for the alarms. So again, we'll come into here, we're just going to add the alert. And this is CAD Swiss franc. Possible buy. CAD Swiss franc. Possible sell. Okay, we'll create that. And that means we're set up on that CAD Swiss franc. Have we got the bottom done? Update the emojis. I'm hoping we're more or less there now. We'll come back on the system. GBP odd, 2 lines, GBP CAD, 2 lines, GBP Swiss franc, 2 lines, GBP NZD, 2 lines, GBP USD. We've got our 2 lines, GBP GPY. We've got our 2 lines, NZD CAD, 2 lines, NZD GPY, 2 lines, NZD USD, 2 lines, USD CAD, 2 lines, USD Swiss franc, 2 lines, USD GPY, 2 lines. So that is our 4-hour fire zones set up. Okay, that's the end of this video for this week's reset zones and what I do. Hopefully by the time you're watching the playlists on this, you're going to get into a rhythm and see what I do. And guys, this really does change the way you'll do your trading, because you are setting your traps, you're setting your supply, you're setting your demand. Okay, you don't really want to be getting into any trades until you get these 4-hour zones tapped into. Okay, you're then going to be looking for that reversal pattern from those areas. So this has been Forex Fire, 6th of December on Saturday afternoon, for the full reset of the zones. I'll see you in the next video, which will be in a different playlist. It'll be where is the liquidity. And what I mean by that is I'm going over the liquidity that is on these 4-hour zones. I'm going over where is the liquidity, as in the highs, the lows, the fair value gaps. Okay, so look out for those videos, and I'll see you in the next one.